I don't believe in writer's block. I know, lots of arguments on this, but I don't believe in it. I used to believe in it because when I couldn't write, I'd say, I got writer's block. And it's one of the other things that it kind of goes in with that concept of, when James Taylor says, "I doesn't know where songs come from, they just come." And I can't afford to have writer's block. I might get stymied, I might get stuck on something, and sometimes I'll get stuck in a way of I'm just writing the same song again, I can tell. So I do things to break out. And because of my work situation, every day I'm writing either by myself for a project or for an artist or for a TV thing, or I'm writing with someone else and I've got a deadline coming up. We got to move. So it's like, I guess it's a thing like drowning. If someone's drowning, you don't think, well, today I got swimmer's block. Now, if someone's drowning, you dive in, you go and rescue them if you can, as long as you can swim. If you can't swim, you'll both drown. But there's something about that desperation moment. You can't afford to have writer's block. So, but there are things to do that you can help with writer's block. And one of the things you have to learn to do is rest. And so if you really are stuck, if inspiration is at a place where I can't find a song, then just don't fight it sometimes. Have a month off. It sounds like a long time, but it's a really good, do something else. Years ago, I was on tour in Pennsylvania, and I was worn out. I was like, it was January or February sort of time, and I've been touring and recording nonstop all year. And I end up in this little town, and this lovely old man sort of read my mail, and he didn't sort of judge, didn't say anything in a judging way. He just said, you know what, my dad was a farmer. I grew up on a farm, and this time of year, he said, you have all the seasons, and we've harvested the crops and everything, and now it's getting into winter, and now we give things a rest. We give the land a rest. We give the animals a rest, and we do things in this season that we don't have time to do. We sort of mend the fences and just tinker around with some of the machinery to see if it works. We don't do any hard work. We're getting ready for the next season, right? We're getting the next season, and that's going to be hard work. And he said, you could learn something from that. And it hit me over the head with that because at that time I was just never stopped. Even a vacation for me back then was a working one. I'd get a tour to somewhere and I'd say, kids, we're going to Germany. I got 2 weeks gigs. And then eventually they started complaining, like, every time we go, you're always playing. You haven't got time to hang out with us. So yeah, I had to learn to rest. And I found it in the rest and planned rests, like focused rests, I would help stir up creativity. I'd have a notebook, and if I had some idea, I'd write it down. I'm not going to be silly about it, but I would not get into the deep writing process. And then what I also learned from that was, like this week and next week, they're crazy busy booking with production and different things. I'm squeezing this in a 2-hour gap, so I got to keep it moving, but I've got a busy time, and I have to plan, all right, on Friday afternoon, I'm going to take a couple of hours off. I'm going to do something fun. And fun for me, we either go for a walk, go to the beach maybe. I might go to the library, hang out, bookshop. I'll do something that's different. Someone's texting me right here. Turn that off. That's another point right there. Turn your phone off. So that's a big deal for me. Is what kills inspiration is interruption. So during the day when I'm working, the only thing I do have is text. Like I can get notified on a text because of the people I'm working with and family. Okay, they can get a text, and they are great with the recent iPhone things. You can set up a little thing that only these people can get you during that time. So I do that, but I don't have emails going off or Facebook or Instagram. I got none of that stuff. It's because I don't want interruptions. I want to stay focused in the writing process or producing recording process. And I work with other people that get things are going off all the time. Ting, ting, ting. It's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's Twitter, ting, ting, ting. And it's like almost you want to be interrupted. I don't know that feeling. That's kind of like a laziness that comes. Like you don't want to do your homework. You don't want to do the hard work, and interruptions. Oh, great, interruptions. So that's a big deal for me. So turning the phone off. Usually when I'm in the writing process, I turn the ringer off for an hour or two,
And then, if the world ends and someone's trying to get me, I'll turn it back on if I remember, which is sometimes I don't. And then I'm with the world. But I don't want to be bothered. If I get a mail, I go looking for the mail. If all the other social meetings, I'll go looking for them. And sometimes people, I can see they've talked to me 2 days ago, and as I have an answer, it's like, yeah, well, it's my time, not your time. And most of my time is in this creative process, and I need quietness. I need, That said, another part of getting inspired is interruptions. So that sounds like, like we're just arguing against myself. But sometimes I'm stuck. I'm stuck on something, and then a neighbor will reach out. Hey, Chris, can you help me carry groceries up the flight of stairs? And it's like, yeah, sure, I'll come out there. Or can you give my car a push? Or somebody calls and it's like, yeah, I really shouldn't take that, but like I'm not doing anything. I'm not, getting for it. Okay, I'll take the call. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes that call is what I needed. It's just like it's stepping away, getting a different perspective. But big part of me is interruption is like in a planned interruption is to go for a walk. And I've got two neighbors in my street that become great friends. They're both screenwriters. And as they're writing screenplays, I'm writing songs and writing music. I'll often see them when I'm walking, midday, 2 o'clock. I'm walking around the neighborhood. Louis is one of my friends. We'll cross paths. And I always say to him, "You're stuck, weren't you?" And he goes, "Yep." And what happens usually for me, I can't work it out. I can't find the solution to the lyric. I can't find the solution to the chord progression or the bridge. I just can't get it. And you get too focused inside. And so I would just go for a walk. And usually I'm just half a block away. I go, I know what it is. And I can't wait to get back. But I needed that separation. Walking is a great thing to do. Writer's block is one of those luxuries that writers, songwriters, musicians and so forth have. Other trades aren't allowed to have writer's block. Imagine the plumber. I can't put things together. The pipes haven't got it in me. Or the surgeon, someone's dying of a heart attack and he goes, yeah, I just can't get it today. They don't have it. And so for me, it's just like, it's somehow got an excuse and the productivity, like I don't feel like it and don't feel like it. It's some days, yeah, I know I can't do it. Some days I'm not even going to wrestle. I'm just going to put it down, going to read a book, watch a movie, or do some other part of my job that doesn't need the writing creative side. I get it. That's how it is. But for beating a writer's block, there's just so much going on in my life that I'll find something to write about. And if someone gives me a call tonight and says, "Hey, Chris, can you write a song for my artist tomorrow?" and I know what music it is, and I go through all those questions that I talk about, and I narrow it down, and I go, right, well, I just got writer's block was cured straight up because I've got a reason to write. And I think being connected to things and to people and to events, it kills writer's block. So go to a local prison, visit somebody in need, someone who's hurting, listen to their story. Writer's block is over. It's just I think, a lazy excuse. Productivity. Early days for me, the writer's block thing, I might write 3 or 4 songs a year and think that was good. Now, I'm writing at least 1 song or 2 songs a month. Sometimes it's 3. And then with a month break at the end of the year, like, I need a break and I don't write a song. And that's just, like I say a million times, if you want something done, find a busy person to do it. That's my little rant for the day. Writer's block. Phooey.